Hi everyone, welcome to facial guasha class. So what's guasha? Guasha is one of the many modalities that we have in our scope of practice in East Asian medicine or Zhongyi Chinese medicine. So our scope of practice, including acupuncture and herbs and moxibustion or the burning of the plant Artemisia vulgaris or mugwort, and many other things including guasha. So gua means to scrape, the process of scraping, the motion that we're utilizing in guasha. And sha is the petechia, or the redness, sometimes purplish color that occurs when guasha-ing, when scraping certain areas of the body. So in doing facial guasha, we don't want sha to arise. Maybe there's a little bit of pinkness or redness, a little bit of a flush that arises on the cheeks, but we don't want big dark bruises on the cheeks, so we're going super light. There's different tools and there's different techniques with guasha. There's bone tools, there's stone tools, there's different types of stones. Obsidian is said to be more heating. Rose quartz is said to have a connection with the heart and be more cooling. Jade is also more on the cooling side. Here's another bone tool. There's different tool shapes. So here's two different kinds of fish. Usually one side is a little bit more smoother and the other side is a little bit more sharper. So you can change the stroke, and then there's a pointy tail at the bottom for pointier tips, and then a nose at the end. And then there's also simpler Japanese tools with the flat guasha side and the pointy acupressure side. And then there's various other tools now. Guasha is getting its place right now in mainstream media. So there's all new different kinds of guasha tools coming up. These are some of my faves here. Guasha is not just for the face, but also for the whole body. And it depends. For example, if you're working with scar tissue, then you would apply a stronger stroke for older scar tissue and a gentler stroke for fresher scar tissue. So I have this old scar here on my wrist, and the scars over time, they like to get cozy with each other and crisscross the tissues together and get really tightly woven like a really tight basket. So a stronger stroke over there for acute sprains and injuries like sports injuries, scraping along areas of injury like on the legs or the arms or on the back. For illness, acute onset of cold or flu, scraping on the chest or scraping on the back and getting more of a sha to arise in those areas. So with the face guasha, we are lifting the tissues up and we are moving the tissues outward to expand and open up the face and decrease wrinkles, increase blood circulation, and gentle lymph massage. So working with the stone tool here, making sure that you have a guasha tool, which can also just be your hands, really light touch with your fingers. I like to have some kind of a hydrosol. Rose is really lovely and soothing. For more mixed skin, like oilier skin, something a little bit stronger like sage might be really nice. Frankincense also for mixed skin, and calendula if there's any injuries to the skin. So rose for today. So first, spritzing the face with your hydrosol or misting yourself with water. A couple of squirts and then patting the face down, helping the waters to enter into the tissues. So gently patting across the face, sniffing the lovely scents of whatever it is that you're working with. And then applying a bit of oil onto your skin. So you can use almond oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, whatever kind of oil suits your skin. Argan oil is my favorite for mixed skin with a tendency towards dryness. So putting the oil into a dropper bottle, usually 2 to 3 drops should suffice. Placing it onto your hand and rubbing that together. So rubbing it together, then applying that onto the face. So by rubbing the oils together, we're helping it to emulsify a little bit before we apply it to the face. And with the dampness from the hydrosol on the face, we're also creating a little bit of emulsion on the face. And already we're doing some outwards and upwards stroke, moving from the center outwards, just creating something for the guasha tool to move on. So if you're guashaing on other parts of the body, making sure that there's a bit of oil for the tool to glide on, and so you don't rip the skin and create a bloody mess. Okay, so now taking our tool, I'm looking for the rounder side. I want to be nice and gentle. We begin at the neck. So with the nose of the fish, if you're working with a fish type tool. So beginning with the back of the neck, first using one hand to pull away at the skin in the opposite direction of wherever it is that you're moving your guasha tool. So you're anchoring the skin. And then guasha tool comes from the top of the trapezius up, gliding along to the occiput 3 times, up on each side. And then going up on the front, we're gliding up and soothing the SCM muscles. So being the neck, if you don't mind your neck being a little bit red, you can apply a little bit more pressure. So a little bit more sha might occur. And then I'm just going to go ahead and balance myself out. Feel free to edit it out. Otherwise, I'm going to be walking around imbalanced. So anchoring and then pulling up. And you can do a little bit of a wiggle at the back of the neck. That's a 风池 gallbladder 20 point. Anchoring and then pulling up along to the chin. 3. Already feeling better. And now I'm going to work on the chin. So using the wide side of the fish, following along the angle of the jaw, the angle of the mandible up to stomach 6 here on the belly of the masseter muscle. So from the center of the chin, a light pulling towards the left, and then drawing very light, feather light pressure up. 3 on that side, and then 3 on the other side. And when you get to stomach 6, you can do a little bit of a wiggle. So this is really nice to work on, particularly for folks who clench their jaws quite a bit, maybe during sleep with TMJ or temporomandibular joint disorder. It can also be nice just to do gentle massage either with your fingers or with guasha tool right on the jaw. And then here at the next to the mouth, anchoring down at the chin and lifting up along the cheek. So lifting up along the side of the lip and the cheek. Up, up, up. Fat side of the fish again. We're going from I'll just show you. You can use the tail of the fish if you have a fish tail and go on both sides of the lips. And then coming on both sides. And then pulling the opposite direction. And then fat side of the fish again, coming onto the cheeks, the edge of the cheek up to the temple or up to the side. Actually, let's go from underneath the cheekbone, following the line of the cheekbone up to alongside the jaw. So this is SI19 here, small intestine 19. So anchoring near the side of the nose, the nasolabial groove, and just gently rocking up. And then other side. And it can help with the gentleness to keep the tool pretty horizontal to the face too. And now working underneath the panda eye area, underneath the eyes to the temple. This point is called 太阳, which can be a helpful point with headaches. So helping anchor at the inner canthus of the eye, and then just rolling up to 太阳. And with your guasha tool, in the winter season, depending on what tool you're using, like if you're using black obsidian, you can heat that by putting it in hot water. If you're working with something like quartz, it's a little bit more sensitive. So in the summertime, it can be really nice to put this into the fridge to cool it down. Also put the hydrosol into the fridge to cool it down and do a cool treatment on the face. Okay, so now we're gonna bring a little bit of guasha action to our eyes. So anchoring one side near the yin tang, or the wisdom eye area between the top of the two eyebrows and the center of the forehead. Excellent point for calming and restoring the yin. So using the tail of the fish going over both sides of the eyebrow. And then you can use the tip of the fish to give a little massage to your temple at the 太阳 point. So anchor and pull 3 times on each side. And another point that you can move up towards on this side is 头尾, or 头尾, stomach 8, right up here at the corner of the hairline, up here at the temple. So if that feels good, or down here at 太阳, I usually prefer 太阳. 太阳, besides a nice point for settling headaches, can also be a nice point for softening the mind when there's been too much mental focusing going on. Same thing here with the yin tang points. And then now with the rounded part of the fish, moving from the center of the forehead between the eyebrows up to the hairline. So over here, nothing to anchor. I guess you can anchor up here at the top if you wish, and just reach up, or anchoring down here at the nose. So reaching up, you can rub a bit here at the top 3 times, and then using the rounded edge of the fish again will cover the forehead to complete the whole face. So anchoring in the center of the forehead, pulling out 2 and 3, and then the other side 1, 2, and 3. And you have just completed a nice, nourishing self-care ritual, which is really lovely to do first thing in the morning, particularly focusing underneath the eye. If you have puffy eyes in the morning time, or if you didn't sleep well and you're not feeling so hot, it can be a lovely ritual to do before going to bed, particularly if holding tension in this area of the jaw, or clenching, having bruxism, the clenching of the teeth during sleep, which is something that I oftentimes recommend for patients, and can be something really lovely to do before bedtime in general, either once a week or once every day if experiencing bruxism, the clenching at night, as a way to relieve stress and relax through your face before going to bed. And if you're moving quickly, 3 on each side, this can take as little as 5 minutes. So now, the most important last step to complete this process is to clean your tool. So you can wash your guasha tool in warm, soapy water. And then if it's stone, being sure that you place it somewhere gentle, because these are prone to breakage and your hands are slippery when you're washing. So being careful with that. For a little bit more quick solution, if you don't want to wash with soap and water, or if you're outdoors like we currently are, just using an alcohol prep pad. So if I'm camping, glamping really, and I decide to bring my guasha tool with me because I really want to glamp hard, then I'll just bring alcohol prep pad and clean my tool. And then because it's isopropyl rubbing alcohol, it dries very quickly, and then I can just put it right back into its soft protective storage pouch. So once this air dries a little bit, I'll put it back into the storage pouch. And then that's it. Small actions repeated over a period of time, can elicit big changes. So I hope that this tool of guasha and working with oils and hydrosols as a loving self-care ritual can be beneficial for you, friends, or family, or all of the above through your lifetime. Blessings.